inshallah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin Ashrafil Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Yes. So tonight we are going to do something called the mustasna, al-mustasna, or the exception. Yes. And mustasna, as you can see, the word comes from the root letters Tha, Nun, and Ya. Yeah, Sa, Nun, and Ya. And it's related to our dual, yeah, musanna. Yeah, it's related to that because it basically means to fold over. Yeah, to fold over. Okay, alhamdulillah. Just to recap what we have done so far in terms of the maf'ul. Maf'ul here is a part of all the isms that are usually mansub in status. Yeah, usually they are all in mansub status. So mustasna, there's one type of mustasna that is also mansub, and that's why we're doing it. Yeah, that's why we're doing this. So the maf'uls that we have covered so far are the 5 types that we commonly find. Maf'ul bihi, maf'ul mutlaq, which is the masdar basically of a fi'il. Yes. Maf'ul lahu or ajlihi, which will these maf'uls will answer certain questions we will see in a while. And maf'ul ma'ah, yes. Maf'ul fihi, which is also known as zarf. Yes, also known as zarf. So the questions that they normally answer are like who and what with maf'ul bihi. Please note it's only who and what with maf'ul bihi. Yes, these are not maf'ul bihis. There is a tendency to look at everything else as maf'ul bihis. No, maf'ul bihi only answers the question who and what. Yes, the other maf'uls have their own names. Yeah, they are not maf'ul bihi. You can call them maf'uls, but don't call them maf'ul bihi because maf'ul bihi is in this category. Yeah, so we have maf'ul al-mutlaq, how, maf'ul lahu, why, maf'ul ma'ah, with whom and with what, yes, and maf'ul fi, yeah, maf'ul fi, where and when. Of course, under how, there are other things, yeah? Like how is it done, the intensity of it, yeah, the emphasis of doing the action. This comes under how as well, yes, or what sort of action is it? What type of action is it? Yeah, when you love someone, what sort of love is it? Yeah, so and how also can indicate the number of times you're doing the action. You repeated it how many times? Yeah, when you hit someone, how many times did you lash out? Yeah, this is covered under how. Yeah, all right. So now tonight we're going to do the exception. Any questions? No? All
No,
right.
Ustadha.
Alhamdulillah. So the definition. So what's mustasna? Yeah, it's an exclusion. An exclusion is to remove someone or something from a group or situation. Okay, mostly from a group of things or people. So here, the group happens to be students. Yes, the students came, except for Zaid. Yeah, Zaid didn't come. So Zaid here is excluded from the group of students. Very simple, straightforward explanation here. And in Arabic, exclusion is called istisna. Yes, this is family 10 of the word with the root letters sun, sa, nun, and ya. So here we have a sentence. It is a jumla fi'liya, as you know, because it starts with a fi'l. This is a fi'l madi. So ja'at tullabu illa zaidan. Yeah, illa zaidan. Illa here is the tool that you use to do the exception, or the word that you use to make the exception. Yeah. So it's called harfu istisna in this case because illa is a half. In this case, illa is a half. Yeah. But we will see that there are other words that are used for exception as well, not just illa. But this is the mother of exceptions. Now, the word illa is called mustasnan. The word after illa is called mustasnan, the thing that is excluded. Yeah, and this is the one that is usually mansub. So that's why we see zaidan. This is how we recognize that this is mustasna. Yeah, it is mansub after illa. You will see other cases when it is not mansub, but there's still ila. Yeah. So this is what we are going to look at today. So in terms of tarkib is of course the structure of the sentence. It's not the i'rab. The i'rab is your grammatical analysis. Yeah, when you say, oh, this is a fi'il, this is a fa'il, you know, if is this fi'il mansub, is this fi'il majzum, yeah, things like that. That's i'rab. But tarkib, no, we're looking at the overall structure of the sentence, how it's broken down. Now, the element from which the exclusion is taking place is called the mustasnan minhu. Now, this is actually the students, that group. Yeah, so that's your mustasna minhu. Oops, sorry. So let's look at this jumla fi'liya. We have the fi'il, the fa'il, the istisna tool that we're using, which is ila, and of course what is being excluded. Yeah, so we normally say that it's mustasna and it is from what? No, minhu. This in case is a fa'il. Yeah, it's a fa'il. So it's been excluded from tulab. We can also have mustasna in a jumla ismiyah, not only just jumla fi'liyah. Yeah. So let's have look at a simple example here. At-tulabu, this is something marfu. This is your mubtada. Mujtahiduna, this is of course your habar. Illa Zaidan. Yeah, illa Zaidan, and it's mansub. The students are hardworking except for Zaid. Yeah, except for Zaid. So in this case, the breakdown will be like this instead. Yeah. So you have mubtada, habar, still your harfu istisna, and the thing that you are excluding, and this thing has been excluded from the mubtada, which happens to be the students. But now it is mubtada in this sentence, no longer the fa'il as per this sentence. So let's have a look at all the other words that we can use to make an exception. Yeah. Now I have a table here. It may be useful, or it might be confusing. Okay, so what I've basically done is I've said here these are the type of words, whether it's a harf, an isim, or a fi'il. Yes, you recognize these are the plural forms of the words that I've just said. So what are the words that is istisna? Illa, which we see all the time. Ghair, okay. Siwa, not so often. Yeah. Adan, khala, which can be something else as well. It can be a verb that means not except or apart from. Yeah, it can actually mean to me. Yeah, khala. So hasha. So we need to look at the context when we look at words like this. Yeah. Here it's easier. Laisa, this is af'al, la yakun. Yeah. So I have this strange category which says it's either a verb or a harf. So we need to know how to see when this is a verb and when this is a harf. Yeah, inshallah. Now we have, I call here types of exception. We're going to talk about two things here. The type of exception, and then we're going to say about the cases of exception. Okay, so is there a difference? Okay, let's look at here. Here's exception, and we have the two types. The first one, muttasilun, yeah, connected. And this is something like this, for example. The students came, but not Zaid. We know that Zaid is probably a student. Yeah. So in this sense, we say it's connected. The thing being excluded is connected to the group that is being excluded from. Excuse.
Ustada?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, okay. My voice was cutting.
I see. Oh, I was coughing. I muted my mic. So we also have munqati'un, which is disconnected. So what do I mean by this? We have an illa, but now it's an ustad, hence obviously not a student. Yeah. So this is what we mean by disconnected. when the thing that is being excluded wasn't part of the group. Yeah, wasn't part of the group. As always, I will tell you, you don't have to worry what this means, no. But I would like you to take note what nahu means. Yeah, nahu means as follows. Yes, as follows. Now, what it basically saying, this is not a word-to-word translation. This is an explanation of what it's saying. Yeah, because I don't want to go into muta'addadin, yeah, which is basically matbu. It uses illa or its sisters, and the word after illa is part of the group that was mentioned before. Like I said, the Zaidan is a student, yeah, and he did not come. Then we have munqati, yes. Here it is another explanation in Arabic. Adami means not there, no. Nahwu as follows. It also uses ila, but the word after it has no logical or category connection to what came before. Yeah, so because an ustad is not a student, yeah, he's the teacher. So in this case, we can also have something like this. We'll see, we know of a very famous example in the Quran, and inshallah we'll see that later. Now we talk about the cases of exception, yeah? And one of the cases of exception seem to look like the types of exception, yeah? But actually the types of exception is a broader classification, whereas this one, there is three. How do you say? It narrows things down, yeah? It narrows things down. So let's look at the first case. Now, what comes before illa is complete and affirmative. Oh, what do we mean by this? That means the words before illa is complete and affirmative. There's no negation. Yeah, there's no negation in what is said before illa. And when we say complete, we mean that the mustasnan minhu, the group from which you are excluding this person or thing, is mentioned. It's there. Yeah, this is what we mean by complete. So here, what is being excluded, the mustathnan, is accusative, mansub. And the group it belongs to is mentioned. Yes, this is what basically we are saying. The Arabic version will be here. Yes. So al-Qalamu qabla illa tammun mujabun. Mujabun means a number of things. We'll see this as well towards the end of the lesson. Yeah. But I think you can more or less figure what it is. Yes, we say this is complete, so this must be affirmative. It's not a sentence that contains negation or prohibition. Yeah. Mujabun is also has an element of questioning. Yeah, if there is a question in the sentence, it's also classified as mujabun. Yeah, so negation, prohibition, and questioning. But for our case, we are looking only at the positive sentence. We know negation. So what comes after illa is your mustathnan, and it's mansub. We said that here. We said that here. We said it at the beginning of the class. Yes. So then we are saying here when it's complete, tam. We know that tam means complete in Arabic. It means that it's mawjud. It exists. We see it. Yeah, it's mazkur, mentioned. Yes. So that is what we mean by tam. What is said before illa. So here, Laisa Manfian, just explaining it. And of course, we see our example, same example from the beginning until now. Yeah. Okay, so this one is the first case. Then we have the second case. Now, what's the second case? It's complete, but now there's the element of negation. Yeah, there's the element of negation. The word after illa is either mustathna and is accusative, mansub, or it is badal, And here badal ba'da kul min kul. Yeah, that means it's not the whole thing. Yeah, it's badal ba'da kul. Yeah, part of the whole thing. Yeah, so it's not kul min kul, but ba'da kul. So, which makes sense, yes, because student Zaid, for example, belongs to part of the student group. And again, it's complete because we know what the group is. Yes. So here again, in Arabic, just basically what I've just explained. And the explanation again of tam and manfi. Yeah, now we have negation. That's what we mean by manfi. Okay. So we can have two things we said. The first case is when the mustasna is mansub. We see it here, Zaidan. But sometimes we see it written this way. Here, it is marfu. Why is it marfu? Yes, why is it marfu? Because Zaid is part of the tulab, students. And remember, we learned a long time ago that badal is a follower. Yes, it follows it follows what it follows, yes, in terms of status. So in this case, it's following tulab, and tulab is your fa'il, and your fa'il is marfu. So Zaidun is also marfu, yes. The better i'rab for this is, as I've put here, is badal, because it makes it more sense. Yes, we're talking about someone that belonged to a group. So it's badal ba'da kul, yeah. So rather than this one. This is how they look at it, but only for the negative one. Yes, when there is negative. Maja. The students did not come except for Zaid. He was the only one who turned up. Yeah, so this is slightly different from the first case when it was complete and positive. That's when it's better to use Zaidan as mustasnan. Yeah, in this case, better to use it as badal. If this was instead something else, yeah, the sentence was not like this, and the badal mubdal minhu, what it follows, yes, what it follows is in nasab case or in majrur case, then this will also be nasab or majrur. Yeah, that's why we say it's badal, because it follows the i'rab. Yeah. Then we have the third case. Third case. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask. Yeah. What comes before illa is incomplete and negative. So incomplete here meaning the mustasna minhu is not mentioned. Yes, it's not mentioned. We do not know. And the i'rab of the word after illa will depend on its place in the sentence. Oops, sorry, that's a spelling mistake there. This is similar to the badal thing. Yeah, but badal, it will depend on the mubdal minhu, the thing it follows. But in this case, it will depend on its own place in the sentence. Yeah. And here, as I said, the group is not mentioned. This note is not mentioned. So we see here. Yes, it's nakis. Of course, we know the word nakis means incomplete. And then what is after it? Yu'arab. We can estimate its, how do you say, its worth, if you want to put it that way. Mawqihi al-jumlah depends on its place in the jumlah. Yes, we make i'rab based on its place in the jumlah. Yeah. So here we say ghayr marujud, meaning it does not exist in the sentence. It's not mentioned. So we can understand here that nakis is always manfi. Yes, we can understand from here that nakis is always manfi. So in this case, there we give it as a name, yeah? In this case, this type. Oh, have you been removed? Okay, alhamdulillah. No, we did not remove your sister Nada. Alhamdulillah. Okay.
Ustad, I got a message. Another member of the group removed you.
Oh, I see. Oh, mashallah.
Subhanallah.
Um, maybe they were trying to remove me, but they didn't get. So anyway, this type of istisna is called istisna mufarraq. Mufarraq. Yeah. Hold on. We'll have a look at this word in a while, but let's have an example. So this is the third case. Remember, we said that what is being excluded, right? What is being excluded will have the i'rab of its place. Yes, it will have the i'rab of its place. It's not going to follow anyone. Yeah, not like the badal case that we saw just now, the second case, but it's going to have the i'rab based on what the role that it plays in that sentence, even though it's being excluded. Yeah, even though it's being excluded. So here, Ma jaa illa Zaidun. Now, why can we do this? Because the mustasnan minhu is not mentioned. Yeah, and it is negative. Yeah, so no one came except Zaid. Now, this is a special case of exception. If you follow my Friday classes, you will understand why I say it. You will recognize this form where you have negation and exception. Whenever you have negation and exception, this is a very special form that results in what we call exclusivity. Yeah, exclusivity, restriction. This is something that we call qasr in balagha. Yeah, in balagha. So, oh, okay. I hope someone did not remove Sister Quratul Ain from the group too. Sister Nada. Okay. Oh, alhamdulillah. She's back. Okay. So here we have, yeah, in this case, it's clear cut. This is a fa'il. This is our verb. Yes. And we have fa'il. And how can we tell the difference between this and the one before it? I have a slide after this. Is that when we remove ma and illa, the sentence makes sense. Zaid came. Yeah, Zaid came. But because it's that special exception that I talked about, only Zaid came and no one else. Yes, only Zaid came and no one else. That's why we have ma and illa. Yeah. So like in this case too, if I just put Ra'aytu Zaidan, understood, I saw Zaid. Yeah, but when we put in ma and illa, then I saw no one but Zaid. You only had eyes for Zaid, okay? So this is where it becomes special. Yeah. Ma zahabtu illa li Zaidin. Yeah. So here, if I move love al-ma and illa, I went to Zaid. Yeah, I went to Zaid. So this one, in this case, I went only to Zaid. Didn't want to go to anyone else. Yes, yeah, obviously there is this special relationship between yourself and Zaid. Yes, so here we see the different cases where it can be either marfu, mansub, or majrur. Yes, so this is the third case. Now let's just look at some of the wordings that we used so that maybe it'll be clearer. Yeah, so this is mujab, the one that we discussed. Yeah, when you cannot find in it nahi, which is negation, nahi, prohibition, and istafham. Yeah, that means there's no question either. Yep. So ja'a zaidun, we saw this in our example, the sentence before illa. Yep. Then we have ghayru mujab, means that of course it has nafi, nahi, and istifham. So we can sentences like this where we have ma, yeah, la, for example, and Hal. Hal here is a question. Yeah, Hal is a question here. So here is like, did Zaid come? Yeah, did Zaid come? So these are the sentences that we look at as ghairu mujabin. And this is mujab. This is, anyway, I'm not talking just about exception, just the type of sentence that we're looking at. Yeah. Then we were looking at, remember, mufarraq, yeah. So here we are saying that it's complete, ghairu mufarraq. What do we mean by that? We mention the group that is being excluded from. Yes, that's why it's tammun. When it's ghayr tamin, means that, remember, this is a mudaf ilay. This the word ghayr is used in an idafa form. Yeah, so this is tamin. Mufarrag, yeah, here was ghayr, this is mufarrag, meaning we emptied out something. Yeah, remember the meaning of mufarrag is from the word faraga. Farraga, this is family 2, and there's a shadda here, means the action is being done to something. Yufarrigu, tafrigan, this is the famous form, masdar, ta'liman, yeah. What else is there that's famous? Yeah. Mufarrigun, yeah, but we are looking at mufarraq, yeah, the one that is being emptied. Yeah, the one that is being emptied. So something is being emptied here. So this is when it's active, the sentence active, not passive, to empty, to evacuate, to clear something out. So faraga, he emptied something, yes, but mufarrag is the one being emptied. Okay. So when we say istisna mufarrag, the sentence is said to be emptied, yeah, mufarraga, of the mustasna minhu, yes, the group or category from which the thing is being excluded. Yep. So that way, inshallah, you will be able to remember this word. Inshallah. Okay. Now let's look at the other words of exception. Now, remember this group of words. Ada, khala, hasha. And I said it can be fi'l, it can be half. So how do we tell? No? So in this case, what do you think? Do you think this is a fi'l or a half? Sister Quratul Ain, would you like to hazard a guess? Is either a fi'il or
Yeah,
half?
harf. I think it's a harf.
Now, why would you? Now, if this is a half, yes. What made Zaidan mansub?
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. So this is where sometimes, because we don't have illa yet. Well, this is behaving like illa, and you're saying that this is mansub, and but illa can be. So it's definitely a half. It's just that ada can be both. Yeah, it can be both. So that's why sometimes not that easy. Yes. So it's fi'il madin here. Yeah, it's fi'il madin and it's mabni. It's mabni. Yeah, the alif makes it muqaddara. Okay, Zaidan as maf'ul bihi. Yeah, maf'ul bihi. We don't call it mustasna in this case. Yeah, even though when we translate the sentence, is that the students came except for Zaid. Yeah, so this is exception, but not the classic exception that we normally associate exception with. Okay, so that's how I put it. But this is still considered exception. Yes, this is still istisna. Yeah, this is still istisna. It's just that it's not the first case that we studied just now, where the word before it is complete and positive, yeah, and then what follows it is Zaidan. So here Zaidan is called maf'ul bihi and it's not called mustasna, yeah. So don't be.
But the translation will remain the same.
Yes, the translation will remain the same. Yeah, all the students came except for Zaidan. Now here, yes, now this is it's looking more like a half now. Although it can also be a mudaf, isn't it? It can be an isim. But since we know that ada, khala, and hasha can only be fi'il or half, then we know it's not an isim and this is not it's not mudaf ilayh. So then we can say that ada here is half of jar. Yeah, ada here is half of jar. Okay. And of course, Zaidin is a majrur. It doesn't have the i'rab of mustasna. Yes, but the translation is still an exception. So here, this is even more puzzling. I have a ma here. Why is the negation here? Why is the negation here? Normally, when we have a fi'il, the negation would be in front. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how we look at it. Yeah? Agreed, Sister Nada? She's still cooking.
Yes, Ustadha.
Yeah, so normally ma would come before. Yeah, that's because this ma isn't negation. Okay, this ma is not negation. This is what we call masdari. Ma masdari. And usually what?
Masdariya. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So what follows it is usually a fi'il. So this is the giveaway. Yeah, this is the giveaway. When you find an ada or a khala or a hasha with ma in front of it, then it's almost always a fi'il. Yes, and you will see this mansub. Yeah, you will see this mansub. I don't have the hasha here. It got accidentally erased, but I will put it back in the notes. Yeah, so this is how it is. And the translation, sorry, I have a connector problem. The translation is still the same. Yeah, because remember, this becomes a masdar, and it is still something that excludes something. So it's the translation is still the students came except for Zaid, just like this one. Voila. So this is something nice, something different to remember. Yeah. So one of those things in the language that we need to understand and we need to appreciate. Yeah. So the translation will still be the same. Still be the same, inshallah. Now, let's look at ghair. What are the things that can happen with ghair? Now, with ghair, what did we say just now? What was ghair? Ghair is an isim. So now that idafa thing is probably more something that we will see, yeah, in the case of ghair. We're going to look at the three cases since it's an isim. How do we, because the other case that we saw was different. So here it's an isim, so it has a status. It's not mabni like a half, right? So here we see ja'a tulabu ghayra zaidin. But of course, it will always be zaidin, yeah, because this is your mudaf ilay, yeah. So ja'a tulabu ghayra zaidin. The first case, why do I say first case? No negation, complete. The mustasna minhu is here. Yeah, so this is the first case. So Zaid is mudaf ila majrur and ghaira is actually your, it's actually, what's ghair here? Okay, all right. I tell you what, we will go through the three cases first, and then maybe we do the irab later. Because I don't really want to emphasize too much on irab because by right, the course itself is meant for beginners, and we're going to do serious irabs only towards the end. Yeah. So ghaira, we just take it as what you use to make the exception. Yes, the mustasna. Okay. Now the second case, we see a negation here. This is a negation, yeah, because it's before the fi'il. So ma ja'a tulabu ghayra zaidin. So in this case, the students did not come except for Zaid. Yes, this is the case. But when we said this case, yeah, we said that it could also be, what did we say? It could also be a case of badal. Yeah, so here it is behaving like, if you can look at it, like a maf'ul. Here it is behaving like a fa'il. Yeah, so that's why we have here mansub and we have here marfu. Yeah, all right. Now, the third case, we said it was incomplete and with negation. Yes, so the word tulab is no longer there. Yeah, the word tulab is no longer there. And here, ghair is actually your fa'il. It becomes your fa'il. Strange, right? A bit different. Because this is more like it doesn't look as if it behaves like an illa. Illa is right. It's like it doesn't have an irab, right? Because it's a half. But the ghair, it has its own irab, and in this case it's fa'il. But the exception is still taking place. So this is where we need to understand and appreciate between the use of ghair and the half illa. Yeah. And actually between ghair and illa, between khala and illa, yeah, these are special cases of exception. And this is how ghair behaves. I think the best way to do this is when we go through the examples, or when we go to some of the examples. I have purposely not done the Iraq for those, yes, because I want us to go through together and see whether we can understand it based on what we have gone through tonight, inshallah. Yeah. So here, in this case, remember, Zaidin will always be majrur because it's mudaf ilay. Yeah. The one that determines the status is the ending of ghair itself. Yeah. Here it is being mu'rab. Here it has dhamma, fatha. We can even have, oops, sorry. There's supposed to be one with a kasra here. Subhanallah. I'm not sure how this got left out, but yeah, we will. This was the example of. I'll put it down in for you later, yeah, inshallah. So here, as you can see, this is your fa'il and this is your mansub, which is your maf'ul. Yeah. Any questions here, inshallah?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, you will be doing examples from the Quran.
Yes.
Is that part of it? Okay.
Yes, I'm going to do that. And then we will look at the Irab, if you will bear with me. Unless are you familiar with doing with Irab?
Yes, I am familiar.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
alhamdulillah.
so it won't be.
Only thing, I need to go in like 10 minutes. How long is the class? How much more left?
I think we have about, let's see, I have about 2 more slides and then the exercise. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
All right. Now the last one, the last word that we had to look at is laisa and la yakun. Yeah, laisa and la yakun. So this is based on not there and doesn't exist. Yeah, this was the translation that we saw earlier on here. Yeah, is not among, does not exist as. Yes, this is how it will be translated. This is still a case of exception. Yeah, but not as clear cut as illa, as you can see from ghair and all that as well. Okay, so here we would say Lisa, of course. Yeah, the students came except for Zaid. Yeah, or the students came without Zaid. We can also translate it that way. So here it's a clear case of the Madi, and it has an isim which is built inside it. Yes, Laisa, takdiruhu huwa. And Zaidan is your habar, Laisa, mansub. Yes. But an exception is happening, even though the word mustasna is nowhere in the Iraq. Yeah, but the exception is still taking place. Here, لا يكون لا يكون فعل مضارع ناقص مرفوع, and the isim is also built in. Yeah, and Zaidan is your khabar of yakun. Okay, so I was saying about case 2 and 3, I've mentioned this when we want to move ma and illa, and I said it will make sense. Yes, so it is the special case that shows exclusivity. So you remove ma and illa, I saw Zaidan, still makes sense. Yes, but the only thing is, because with the ma and illa, it becomes the meaning of I saw only Zaid. Yeah, I saw only Zaid. Okay, so I was going to go through this one. And this one is the famous case of 3. Yeah, fasajadu illa iblisa. I'm going to stop the slide show so that we can look at this particular slide. We can work on this slide actually. Okay, we can. Sorry, my cable has been giving me problems all day. So these are 3 examples from the Quran. 3 examples from the Quran. Where do you think this is from? Surah Al-Baqarah. This is also Surah Al-Baqarah.
That's right.
Yeah. So we are going to have a look at this. I'm going to call this up. Okay, this is what I use for Iraq. So can you let me know the ayah number for this? This one. Fasharibu minhu
Yeah,
illa
I
kalima.
will get you the ayah in a
Okay.
minute. Subhanallah. I only did it just before joining the class, so I know the page.
Subhanallah.
Yeah. Okay. فَشَرِبُوا مِنْهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ مِنْهُمْ. Yeah, so it's ayah number 249 of Al-Baqarah.
249.
It's like in the ayah is very long, but it's just the middle part of the ayah.
Here is it. Let's have a look. This one. This part. Yes?
That's right.
Oh, okay. So it should be here. Yeah. So here, if you can see, yeah, I'll try and make this bigger. Illa is of course your adatu istisna. Yes, adatu is like a tool. Yeah, the word meaning tool. And qalilan is mustasna. It is actually mansub, and it is a mustasna. Yeah, so the thing that is being excluded. But which case do you think this is?
This
First,
is this is where the mustasna is mufarragh.
taken out. Yeah, but
Yeah, taken
positive.
out. Yeah,
Okay.
but positive. Yeah, but yeah. So there is no nahi, no nafi, and no istifham.
Okay.
But the mustasna minhu is not present,
So
isn't it?
how do we translate this? Fasharibu minhu illa kalilam minhu.
Mm. So they all drank from it except a few of them. So I think
Okay.
the mustasna minhu is the domir whom, is that right?
249. Oh, let me look at this one. Yep. Oops. Okay. Yeah, sorry, you said the domir?
Yeah, I'm saying that the mustasna minhu is not mentioned as an ism, but it's mentioned, you can't see it as the mustasna minhu as an ism, but you can it's in the domir mustatir inside the sharibu.
Yeah.
Would that be the mustasna minhu?
Yeah, it's the day in the
Yeah, they
Sharifa. Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. So
Mm.
the Waw Jama'ah in that is the one that is being, they are part of it. So in a way, it is mentioned in per se. It's there. It exists. Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just that.
there. There. So
Yeah,
then it's not mufarragh. It's there.
yes, now, yes,
Yeah,
it's there. So it's
yeah.
actually the first case. Yeah, it's the
First
first
case, yeah.
case.
Mm.
Alhamdulillah. Now we look at the other one, which is another famous example, which is our
Yeah,
Sajadu.
so shall I get the ayah number for that, or you have it?
Let's see whether it will pop up. This one, right?
Yeah, yeah,
34.
yeah.
Yeah, 34.
Mm.
So here, 34. So illa here, still the same. Now, here, Iblisa. Yeah, so Iblisa is obviously mansub. So this is our mustathna. Yeah, bi illa. And but it says here, متصل إن كان إبليس في أصل من الملائكة. So this is one school of thought. Yes, one school of thought that originally
Yes.
Iblis was part of the angels. Yeah, this is one. The other one, it is not
Mm-hmm.
because he wasn't from them. Yeah, just like the Ustad wasn't a student. So we have two
That's
opinions
right.
in
Yeah,
this
yeah.
case. Yeah, so we have two
Mm-hmm.
opinions in this
Yeah.
case.
I mean the second the first excuse me, the first opinion actually contradicts an ayat in the Quran,
Ah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Because it says in Surah Al-Kahf, kana min al-jinn.
Ah, so it's not from Malaika. Hmm?
Yeah,
It's not.
I don't agree with I don't agree with the first opinion. From my limited knowledge, the first opinion, because it's directly contradicting the ayah of the Quran. That's why I'm saying it.
Ah, okay. Alhamdulillah. Good. But we see that with our scholars, our ulama, they have their opinions and they have how do you say, there is always an attempt to reconcile, and no such thing as
Mm.
oh, you're wrong, but okay, we
Yeah,
allow
yeah,
it.
no, I'm
Yes,
just saying, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so that's the
Yeah,
beauty.
what I'm, yeah, yeah, they call it tatbiq, isn't it? That you see, look at, there is a way to join the bridge and
Yeah. Oh,
you
is that
know,
what they call it? Oh, subhanallah. Okay, this is my
yeah,
first
you
time
call it
hearing word.
tatbiq, like,
Yeah.
yeah, tatbiq,
Tao.
yeah,
How do you
yeah,
spell that?
yeah, like
Uh-huh.
ta, and then to, and
Uh-huh.
ba ya qaf.
Oh, tatbih. Oh, that's
Yes, yes.
tabaqa. Hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So
Okay.
you place them side by side and you find some kind of bridge to reconcile the two.
Okay. So the next one is Surah Hud 1181. Yes.
You
11.
know that, sorry, before you move on to that question has been asked to me a few times. That can I just look at the what it says after munqata? It is
لأنه
not showing on my
ليس.
screen. Yeah.
Do you see?
وقيل منقطع
Uh-huh.
لأنه
لأنه, yeah, because ليس منهم.
ليس منهم.
He's
Right,
not
right,
from
right,
them.
right.
He's
Uh-huh.
not from them. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. Subhanallah. I mean, of course, I don't mean to say that the first opinion is wrong. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that they must have an answer to, even if it apparently seems to contradict the ayat of the Quran. They must have a reason to say why they are saying that, what they are saying, isn't
Uh,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
they're saying that because originally they were from the angels. I presume maybe for all we know, we do not know. Well, Allahu Alam, He knows
Yeah,
better,
that's
right?
right. Yeah.
That
Okay. But
maybe,
that clarifies the answer for me anyway.
yeah.
So there is difference of opinion.
Yes.
Because I came across this sister who was telling me that that first opinion is wrong, and so they have a problem with the aqidah. Do you understand? This is where what you're saying is so true, that you have to say, because the ulama have said it, then you can't call them wrong. You
Mhm.
just have to accept that there are two opinions.
Yes. And which one Allah knows
Barakallahu.
best? Yes, that's right.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
That Allah
alhamdulillah.
knows best. Alhamdulillah. Sometimes we think too much.
That's right. No, no, subhanallah. I think at all times and at all costs we have to be humble. And once we are humble, I think that solves a lot of problems.
Problems, yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Oh dear, did someone remove Sister Nada again? Okay. So yeah, we were back here. Hood, which is 1181.
Mm.
1181. Maybe she had here. Now in this case, where
Sorry, I
are we?
can't see the door.
Oh, oh, someone at the door. Voila. Now here there is negation. Wala yaltafit minkum ahadun illa imra'ataka. Yeah, illa imra'ataka. Which is, where is it? Here we go. Illa that, this is the mustasna. Yeah, but in this case, we have negation before it. Yeah, we have negation before it for this case. And we have the group mentioned. Do we have the group mentioned? So this might be 11. Oh, what was the number again? Oh, mashallah. 1181. Do you have to go now, Sister Corotine? Oh, just a moment. Okay, here we are. Here. And let not look back. Oh, this is the case when Nabi Lot was leaving, yes, his people, and his wife looked back, isn't it? And she was turned to stone or something. I can't remember. Yeah, do not let any of you look back. Yeah, except your wife. So I think she's part, but it's negation. Yeah, she's part of the group. There is a mention of it because it's like um, do not let any of you. Yeah, any of you. Yaltafit, yaltafit minkum. Oh, but it's here.
Mm.
Hmm. So do we consider this? What do you think? Do we consider this as part of the? Is there a mustathna minhu here?
I think because it says illa imra'atak, isn't it? It's mansub.
Yes, this is mustathna. This is definitely mustathna
Yeah,
because this
that is
is what the
mustasna.
because the
Yeah, yeah.
Iraq here says so. But whether it's but I was thinking there is a negation, right? There is a negation,
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
but it's also complete negation and complete. So meaning
Hmm.
it's probably the second case, yeah. The
Second
second
case.
case, yeah. Minggu ahri illa amraatika. This one, yeah. This one.
Hmm. Yeah.
So here and here. All right. Okay, inshallah. All right.
Barakallahu fi.
Wafiki barakallah. So we have finished what we need to do for mustasna, and inshallah, maybe when we have the time to do more exercise, yeah, we'll be come understand more and more on this. But just to understand that exception can also come without ilah, and when it comes without ilah, more likely you don't have things like mustasna anymore. But the meaning of exception is still there. Yeah, we've excluded something from something else. Okay, then inshallah. Alhamdulillah, you could join us tonight. Subhanallah wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.